Going to the gym is gay. Every male that goes to the gym to get their pump on to get a thick, juicy is gay. They're putting their hands to the disgusting floor. Gross.
That's so gay.
Real men are going to bed with all their clothes on.
Real men go to bed with all their clothes on?
Why? Because you're afraid of looking at your body in the mirror?
Or because you're afraid of your wife touching you in anything?
That doesn't make... Ew, you're in your clothes, your dirty clothes?
But he's like, I can't touch the floor.
You can't touch the
gym.
floor of a gym?
Oh my, and he's like, gay men.
This is how you know they're losers.
Hey guys, welcome back to Normal Gays, where we take on insanity. I'm Brad Polumbo here with Clarkson Lawson.
What's up, guys? I think we're gonna tell us if you like me being in front of the black and him in front of the white. That's what.
Yeah, let us know what you think.
Subscribe, join as a member because we're gonna be watching a old gay dating show.
Yeah, from MTV from the 2000s.
Click the link in the comments.
Extremely messy, but
yeah.
Anyway, we're actually gonna now be talking about another gay who is probably involved in dating, but probably just anonymously on apps like Sniffies or whatever. Nick Fuentes, of course. Friend of the show.
Yeah. I just find him repulsive.
Like physically?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, gross. Ooh.
Yeah. I just feel like he got should I say this? Like a dirty dick.
Oh my God.
Do you know? Like
it's giving unwashed.
Yeah. Like cheese.
Oh no! Why did you say that?
like you pull the pants down and you get a.
Can we stop
you
this,
get a
please?
whiff and you're like, yikes!
Stop! Make it stop!
It's like your mama didn't teach you to pull the skin back. Those types of people are why circumcision is still a thing in America, because for some reason parents can't teach their young boys to clean it.
Okay, anyway.
You forgot to wash your hands? Chop them off.
Jesus Christ. Please edit all of that out.
It's for hygienic purposes. Okay, you forgot to shower? You forgot to wash your hair? Shave it. Actually, you can do that, I guess. I don't know. Whatever.
Anyway, we're going to watch a clip of Nick Fuentes, and he's going to be ranting about the gays. Let's start that. And you're actually going to agree with what he's saying here, by the way.
Gay men have their gay hookups at the gym. They do it so much they sing a song about it. And then people say going to the gym is based. I'm sorry, but you've been tricked. I'm sorry, but you have been tricked. You have been tricked. And it turns out that the place filled with naked men and mirrors, where men try to achieve aesthetic perfection out of vanity. Oh, big surprise. That's where gay guys hang out. I'm shocked. Oh, I didn't know that. You're telling me for the first time. That's just true.
Pause.
You want to know where straight men are?
He's kind of cooking.
Who told him our secrets? I mean, I don't partake in that type of culture.
I'm
but
sure you never have.
It is. I hate that he's right. I don't think, obviously, I think this is a cope because he's so.
He doesn't want to work out.
Frail and lazy and sits behind a camera all day. But it is true that, like, a lot of men with wives are doing things in the locker room at gyms.
And also, the whole, super fitness image thing is for other men more than it is for women.
Well, I mean, even dating, but the thing is I agree, but even men choosing their girlfriends a lot of times is to appease other men. Like they want to be with the hot girl because of the way other men perceive them with the hot girl. Yeah. So I think that men are just really centered around men, and it gets really heightened when that arouses you.
I'm just saying
that was just a good point.
He's not wrong so far.
No, he's not.
There's something very homoerotic about men at the gym and gym culture.
Yeah.
Now he's using it as an excuse for straight men to not work out, and it's also a bit. That's the problem with him is
he's doing a bit half the time.
Yeah, and then that's part of how he gets away with being so evil.
Yeah.
Right? Is because he can do the mask on, mask off thing, and he genuinely is very funny.
Yeah.
But then a lot of times he's actually just spewing poison and bile and hatred. But then because it's mask on, mask off, it gives you this veneer. You can always just, oh, he's just joking. Oh, he's just edgy, whatever.
Hassan Piker does the same thing.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And it's kind of toxic the way they get away. I mean, it's very toxic the way they use that to
even
get away
Trump
with that.
does it too.
Sure.
I mean, the whole, all of their fan bases do the same thing. It's like, oh, did you hear them say this? They're like, oh, that was manipulated out of context. It's fake news. It's this. They didn't mean it that way. They're just joking.
The out of context thing is a funny line because with all of the people that you mentioned, I would say not Trump. There are some things that Trump has said that are actually routinely quoted out of context.
Yeah, that's
in a misleading way.
In politics
But
always does that.
With Nick Fuentes and Hassan Piker, every time an insane thing they said has been cited, and someone goes, that's out of context. If you go look up the context, it's literally not.
It's not out of
exactly what
context
they
at all.
meant.
No.
Um,
But anyways, Nick, I still think you could buy a home gym if you're afraid to be around.
or just like put down the Cheetos.
Yeah, I mean, sure. His point is like a lot of gay guys go to the gym.
You should still work out and take care of yourself.
You can have a home gym.
Or you could just go to the gym and not spend so much time in the sauna.
If you don't want to look at yourself in the mirror, bro, just say it.
It's also like not everyone finds the sauna where inappropriate activities are happening as irresistible as
also,
you do.
like
Nick.
why do you
just
know
go
all
there
of
and
this?
not go?
Yeah.
I also like the knowledge is crazy.
Why does he know
the
all of this?
familiarity with all of this is crazy.
And also like the audacity of the reason he doesn't want to go to the gym is because the gym is a very manly competitive place. Like the biggest guy wins. That's just how it is. Like even just like walking in the gym, if you're walking down the biggest guy, people normally move out of the way for him. It's like a respect thing. It's very like primal, I would say. So of course the scrawny little 5-foot guy doesn't want to go to the gym.
Just want to be at the bottom of the totem pole.
Exactly. But he can go.
But also he
kind of
does want that.
Well, that's the thing.
That's why he's afraid to go.
People are scared of what they want.
He's afraid to tempt himself.
They're scared of what they want the most.
All right, let's keep going here.
Where straight men are, the library. You want to know where straight men are? The library.
Did you say straight men at the library? You're just.
And why are straight men not graduating college as much as gay men?
Is that? Oh yeah, that is true.
Gay men are outpacing women.
Also, like,
and
bitch,
PhDs.
Literally, no one is at the library. You go there and you'll see senior citizens and like middle schoolers, and that's it.
Does he go to the library?
No, he doesn't go anywhere.
What?
He live streams from his apartment in Chicago.
Straight men are at the What is this type of like weird personal responsibility? This is like one of those content creators that's like, men don't jack off for a month. Son your balls. You know what I'm talking about? You know those types, the wellness types. That it seems like that's the niche he's trying to hit here. I hope your computer's okay. Sorry, I was sunning my balls.
Oh my god. Anyway, what are you doing over there?
It's gonna.
Oh my god.
I wonder if that works.
He's gonna watch this on stream and get all excited.
Although, don't sun your balls. Don't do it. It does. You want to increase your testosterone. First of all, faulty science doesn't do it. Second of all,
looked into this.
Yes, of course.
Oh my
I want to
God.
increase my. Second of all, if you want to
clavicular.
increase your testosterone, get on it. The only things that work are things that have side effects. Okay, they have side effects because they work. Get on a pill. Get on clomiphene or get on testosterone.
But doesn't also like exercising and lifting increase your testosterone? So just do that. But that's gay, apparently.
Well, yeah, but I like to see immediate results.
Yeah, we know.
So,
anyway, let's keep rolling.
They're at the, even, I'll do you one better. They're at the, they're at the convent, okay? They are at, or is the convent only for girls? They are monks. They are monks at the library for monks. That is where they are. They are at the dojo. They're at the dojo training martial arts. They are at the monk's temple. That's where they are.
What?
They're not in the gym. They're not.
He's saying that's where straight men are. It's like, I'm sorry,
That's where celibate men are.
Yeah.
Like him.
That's
where incels
the only way he
are.
could be straight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if he's an incel, which is what most of his audience is.
The funny thing is he's not an incel because he has the groipettes throwing themselves at him, the female groipers.
Right,
but he has said on camera, but the problem is they're all fat and ugly.
Well, the thing is he's actually very smart because what he's doing is he's catering his message to what his audience would benefit from the most. And his audience is not going to be in the gym.
No.
Because they're all fat.
Already,
they're all fat, ugly, or scrawny little. So he's going to tell them, no, it's okay. Like, you're fine. Actually, just go be celibate in the name of religion, even though you are involuntarily celibate.
A lot of them probably.
Yeah, because you have no social skills. You're addicted
to your screen. We had one comment when we said the other day, we took those calls from listeners, and one of them was saying, my boyfriend is like far right. And we were like, what does that mean? Because if he's a Nick Fuentes viewer, you should run. We had one comment that was like, actually, some people just like to watch Nick Fuentes, and it doesn't mean that they're bad or that a girl should dump them. It's like, you just self-reported, babe.
Well, also, like,
self-reported.
If you're crashing out like that in a comment because your favorite influencer was mentioned, like, I don't care who it is.
That's an ick.
Yeah, you need help. Don't be doing that. Not in our comment section.
But I find it funny how it's like, please, Nick Fuentes, tell me more about what's straight and like how to be straight. What am I going to ask?
It-
Lizzo for diet tips?
Yeah, because she's lost a lot of weight.
That's true, actually.
I actually am a Lizzo fan.
I'm trying to think of more examples of like the opposite.
He just immediately goes to fat shaming because he's a terrible person.
More examples of asking people who are like terrible at things for the thing.
I have to think about that.
Asking Clarkson for mental health advice.
Yeah, that's a good one. Asking Brad for social tips. Asking Brad for how to.
All right, this is going to turn into personal attacks. Personal.
I can't think of anything else.
Emotional damage.
Asking Brad to quote a reference that's not from 2 years ago. I don't know what else.
All right, let's keep watching Nick Fuentes.
Asking Lily Tino tips on being a woman.
How did I not go there?
Come
That's
on,
like
it's our one mention. We have to do it.
It's like a knife to the heart.
Yeah,
we need a soundboard.
I actually do have a soundboard.
We'll set it up then for later.
Lifting weights, getting juicy. That's what guys that go to the gym say. They go, I got to go and get a pump on. You're going to get a pump? They go, I got to get juicy. For who? Who you got to get juicy for? Huh? I mean, think about it. Guys are sucking down protein shakes, eating like a girl, let me have a grilled chicken. Let me have a salad. And then they go and they get their pump on to get juicy with all the guys. Going to the gym is gay. And that's just true. That's why they do it. That's why they do it in the gym. That's where they go. That is their temple, okay? Where do the gay people go? They go to two places, gay bars and gyms. And mostly they go to the gyms. Mostly they're in gyms. Because everyone that goes to the gym is gay. Every male that goes to the gym to get their pump on, to get a thick, juicy ass is gay. Okay? They're putting their hands to the disgusting floor. Gross. They're doing clamps, butt clenches. And they're slapping each other on the ass, whipping each other with towels, and they're singing the YMCA because working out is for that is the uncomfortable reality. That is reality you all have to deal with now. That is the reality that you all have to deal with. You know what real men do? Real men read the newspaper. Real men are monks. Real men, they don't go to the gym, okay? They don't do that kind of stuff. They don't do that. Maybe they have a pull-up bar. Real men are doing push-ups next to their bed. They're practicing drawing a gun in the mirror. Real men are watching TV. Real men are going to bed with all their clothes on. That's what real men are out there doing. Real men are eating cheeseburgers because it's convenient and because you get protein. Real men are not saying, I'll have the salad. I'll have the chicken wrap.
Pause.
They're not doing macros.
There's so much there that we have to unpack. Real men read the newspaper. Real men go to bed with all their clothes on.
Yeah, wait, what does that mean?
Also, like,
go to bed with all your clothes on? Why? Because you're afraid of looking at your body in the mirror?
Or because you're afraid of your wife touching you in anything.
That doesn't make... Ew, you're in your clothes, your dirty clothes?
But he's like, I can't touch
the floor. You can't touch the floor of a gym?
Oh my, and he's like, gay men.
This is how you know
like
they're losers. I know, it is a bit. That's why I don't even want to take it seriously.
But it is kind of funny, though. And it is funny how he's like, he's got the most homoerotic, gay pornified version of the gym. Like, they're slapping each other with towels and grabbing each other.
If that's how you imagine the gym as a straight man.
You tell me you watch a lot of gay porn.
Like, that's how I imagine, Nick, that's how I imagine the gym as a gay man. And I just have some news for you. We're on the same level. Okay? When I go to the gym and I see men lifting, I'm like, damn, this is pretty gay. But that's because I'm gay.
Mm-hmm. So
straight men aren't doing that.
These intrusive thoughts you're having, Nick, they're telling you something.
Yeah. Where does Nick live? Like
Chicago area.
Oh, so that's why. Chicago is
like gay Mecca.
It's central. Good God. I know a lot of them. And
there's this clip of Nick.
They're all ripped. Chicago gays look good.
There's this clip of Nick that I've seen where gay guys start hitting on him, or I don't know if they're actually gay, but guys start hitting on him in public, and he's like chatting them up back, and then he realizes he's being streamed, and he's like, oh, and he walks away.
Of course he is. He's gay.
He's just, I mean, I guess we don't know for sure. Allegedly. They'll sue me. I would.
We can call every guy that goes to the gym gay. We can call him gay.
I agree.
Yeah.
Also, like, there's no defamation there
He's
because
like
everyone
he's
already
a
thinks
demon
that.
twink. That's the thing. It's like
Yeah.
he's acting out. Like this is like me during my twink era. I was acting out on TikTok, being so controversial, and because I was just so mad at myself for not being able to compete and be at the top
Okay,
of the
but your
totem pole.
controversial takes were not.
They
like,
weren't that controversial.
They weren't like most black people should be in jail.
No,
That's
they weren't
his
that.
takes,
But I was acting out. There's like a phase in a man's life, specifically a gay man, where they're a twink.
Phase in a repressed bottom's life.
Well, it's not just repressed. It's like when you're a twink and you're young, you're like trying to overcompensate. I think, because when you're young, everybody's trying to overcompensate. But then you tie in the fact that you're a man, and then you're in the gay community where there's a very high body standard. So then it's like you're not fitting that body standard. So you're secretly really angry about it because you're not winning the competition, and men are really competitive. So then all of that anger just comes out, and that's where the demon twink comes from.
And then you end up as Nick Fuentes.
You end up as Nick Fuentes, or you end up going viral online for just being annoying as or overcompensating in social situations where they're like, the type of gay that's like, hey, like that type of bitch. Oh, you know?
All right, let's try to watch the end of this.
Well, no reaction from that. I guess that monologue was a dud.
I'm just tired, y'all.
I know.
Macros. They're not drinking protein shakes. They don't talk about lighting. Okay. Real man has a gut. A real man has a gut. A real man has a gut like this. And he doesn't take his shirt off in the mirror and say, the lighting isn't good in here. This isn't going to look good when I take a picture. Oh, the lighting is bad. I don't have a good physique. My belly doesn't look good. Real man has a gut, and it looks like this. And a real man is not posing in the mirror saying, okay, that's the difference. A real man takes his girlfriend and puts his shirt over her head because it's funny.
Hey, what?
That's what a real man does. A real man doesn't get tight and juicy. For who? Okay? Let's just be honest. If you go to the gym, you might as well be singing the YMCA song all the way to the Log Cabin Republicans meeting. Let's just be honest. You go to the YMCA.
Not him shading the Log Cabin.
You better turn Lord of the Rings on in the gym television and sing YMCA all the way to the Log Cabin Republicans Trump rally. Because that's just true. It turns out liberals are the straight ones. I hate to tell you that.
That's true.
He kind of ate.
I mean, he's not wrong. He like has like nuggets of truth, but then you realize.
Except for the part where he starts screaming about how real men have a gut.
Yeah, I mean,
he said some other crazy in there that I already
There
forgot.
are a lot of gay people who go to the gym. Like, yes, that's true. But also, like, straight men should be healthy.
Also, sorry, you go off, and then I have a point to make.
No, it just doesn't, like, in the grand scheme of things, it's so idiotic that you, like, almost don't even respond to the claims because you just expect people to know.
Well, and it's a bit. But I will say, it's hilarious how he's like, real men don't care about lighting, and then his set is like meticulously lit.
Everything is a projection.
And also he's like ranted about real men don't care about decor, and like for Christmas his set was so perfect.
He literally had a Christmas tree.
It's like he has to intentionally be mocking his audience for how stupid they are, and like making it as obvious as possible, the contradictions, as like a form of mockery.
Well, I mean, okay, creativity comes from somewhere. And when you're doing a bit, like whenever I'm doing a bit on here, it normally comes from some type of experience that I've had. So like he's channeling from
the opposite of the bit. You're not saying the opposite of the truth as the bit, which is
no, but I'm saying that like if you're doing it's very easy to do a bit and do the opposite of what like your experience was. And that's what that's obviously what he's doing.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he's in character. And when you're in character, you have to pull from something.
Yeah.
So, gay. Yeah. Bottom. I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah.
Because the thing is he's probably just afraid
What's
of
that
being
Wendy
gay.
Williams meme? Does your family accept your LGBTQ lifestyle?
No, they don't, Nick. That's why I think Nick is just afraid because he would get thrown around.
You know?
Like, he secretly probably wants to, but like, again, he's afraid to go to the gym because he doesn't want to be the lowest at the totem pole.
He
doesn't want to compete.
Whatever the men are doing.
He doesn't want to compete. That's what it is. He's a man afraid of competition.
Sad.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, let us know.
Loser.
What you think.
That's what a loser is.
Yeah.
Somebody who doesn't want to compete.
Let us know what you think in the comments. Make sure to subscribe, hit the like button. Do become a channel member. We're going to watch a gay dating show. Maybe that's what Nick Fuentes needs. But anyway, guys, we'll be back with more real soon.